What's up, Team Buckhouse? Johnathan Buckhouse here, and today I'm going to give you guys some tips, some advice, some ideas for how to handle having a YouTube channel or making content and family life. This will even tie into work-life balance if you're working a job and you have a family. So let's jump into this. Hopefully help you guys have less issues at home. Now, if you're new to the channel, I've been making YouTube videos for 6 years and I've been doing it full time for the last 4 years. I make mainly snowboard YouTube content, but I'm now branching into like YouTube information content, and I quit my job with 7,000 subscribers. So I think I know what I'm doing just a little bit. Now, if you're like me, I have a beautiful wife, I have a beautiful son, and a beautiful daughter, as well as 2 fur babies running around, Shadow and Shelby. They're awesome. But I have a jam-packed home life between taking care of the dogs, taking care of the kids, make sure the wife is happy. There's a lot that I have to do. That's not just make YouTube videos. As much as you guys think I just snowboard all the time, I'm also at home taking care of my family just as much as I am on the mountain ripping. So if you want to become a YouTuber, how can you tread lightly, or how can you do it to where you're not pissing off your significant other as well as not leaving your kids in the dust and forgetting to hang out with them? So here's a couple tips that I have for you guys. This is what works for me and my family. I'm not saying it's gonna work for you guys, but if you can just get some ideas or even just one thing from this video and it can help you in your home life, that's why I made this video. So let's jump into it. Number 1 is don't bring the camera around family time. Some people, when they first get into YouTube, especially if they're making vlog style content, they want to just shove the camera in everyone's face. Have specific family time. If you guys are playing board games, you don't need the camera there. If you guys are going to go to the park and play, you don't need the camera there. Have balance. Sometimes it is fun to film with the family, but if every time you do something with your family and you're filming it, you're going to make them feel like that you're only spending time with them to make YouTube videos to use them on the internet, which would be horrible. So have a balance. Go to t-ball practice with your son without your camera. And branching off of that, don't force the camera on your family. My wife personally does not want to be on video 90% of the time. There's a small amount of times that sometimes she's like, yeah, I'll be in a video. Most of the time, she doesn't want to be in a video, so I ain't gonna film her. I don't want to piss her off. The next part is editing. You're gonna be sitting in front of a computer editing so much if you're making YouTube content, so you need to have an appropriate time and place where you're gonna edit. A big reason why you need an appropriate time/place is just to be efficient. Like, you already don't have a lot of time if you have a family, so you need to make sure when you do sit down and edit that you can get that edit done as quick as possible and you're not getting distracted by your son being like, yo, come build Legos with me, or your wife being like, hey, can you change this diaper real quick? You can just separate yourself. I have an office, a studio, which is nice. I can step away, get quiet time, do what I need to do, but also I do it at the appropriate time. I make sure I start editing after my whole family goes to sleep. So I make sure my son goes to bed. I make sure my daughter's asleep. And then my wife is like, I'm going to sleep now. And I'm like, see ya. I come into my nice quiet space. I got time to edit, film videos, everything like that. So appropriate time, appropriate place. I used to have my office in my bedroom with my wife, and that was horrible because I'd like lay in bed with her and I'd look over at the computer and be like, oh, I forgot to do that. Get up quick, mess with the computer for 5-10 minutes, get back in bed. And she's like frustrated with me. I'm like, what? I had to do that. But if it's out of sight, out of mind, then trust me, it's gonna help a bunch. Now, if you're like me and you do a lot of traveling for your YouTube channel, you need to have work trips, family trips, and then work family trips, if that makes sense. So I do a lot of work trips. I have a goal to ride every resort in the United States. So I'm traveling a ton in the winter, and I do a lot of that by myself. Some of the bigger trips, the longer trips, I don't bring the family. But there are some trips that I bring my family with. And when I do that, I need to make sure that I schedule in fun activities during the work trip, so they're having a blast as well as I get to do what I need to do on that trip. But then when you do plan a family trip, it's a family trip. Don't bring that camera. We talked about that in point number 1. Leave it alone. If you're taking your family to Disney, just enjoy it. Be in the moment. We don't have to capture literally everything. And if you need to, bust your phone out, get a couple B-roll shots, and then you can just talk about it in another video. Now, if you're like me, I post video content on the daily. I'm always making a YouTube video, so I'm always scheduling things a couple days in advance, everything like that. And sometimes I'll schedule something and my wife's like, oh, I thought we were doing this today. And then I gotta break that plan, break that schedule, and that's okay. Be willing to give up the stuff for the channel occasionally for your wife, your kid, whatever, so they feel valued, feel like what they had, what they thought was important. And that, I mean, for me, a lot of what I film is fun. Mountain biking, snowboarding, wakeboarding. And so when I'm like, yo, I gotta go wakeboard today, and she's like, oh, sure you do. It's really hard sometimes for them to translate play versus work and everything like that. So be willing to reschedule, and trust me, that will go a long way. And on top of that, family always comes first. If something's happening, like I was hosting a snowboard camp in Oregon, my daughter, who I'm literally bouncing right now with my foot, decided, hey, I want to come out early. I had to leave my snowboard camp, fly in an additional coach, break a bunch of people's hearts because they weren't going to meet me, but I had to be there for my family. family comes first always. And on that note, listen to their ideas. Your family's gonna be like, hey, you should make a video like this, or you should maybe try doing this, or my wife will be like, stop saying that. You need to listen to their ideas because they are just as much of this channel as you are. Even though they might not be the face in front of it, they are your backbone, they're your support. Trust me, your family needs to be just as much as part of your channel as you are. And if you have that cycle, and if you look at it like your wife watching your kids is her allowing you to go make content, so you couldn't make that video without your wife's support, you're gonna do really good. So your family is just as much as part of your channel is. Listen to their ideas. For a lot of you though, you might not have the luxury of being full-time YouTube yet. You're working a job, you're trying to do YouTube, and you got your family time, and then you need to sleep. Something has to give. So I would highly recommend the one thing that doesn't give, and the one thing most people start to give up on, is the family. So you can maybe slack a little bit at work. Sounds horrible, but I'd rather slack at work than slack at home with my family. You can slack on the YouTube thing, so maybe scale back. You don't have to post 2 videos a week. You don't have to do daily. You can do 1 video a week while you build your YouTube channel, to hopefully you can get rid of the job, and then now you got YouTube, family, sleep. I went the route of sacrificing sleep, and still to this day, I sleep 6 hours a night. I'm either gonna stay up till 2 in the morning and get my job done, or I'm gonna wake up at 4 in the morning and get my job done before they all wake up. I do the majority of my work for this channel while my family is sleeping. That way, I don't have to sacrifice that family time. Thankfully, I was able to put in the work, I grinded my butt off, and I was able to take that work and the YouTube and smush it together. Now YouTube is my work, so that helps out a ton. But this last tip, the last thing I'm gonna say, is literally the most important, and you guys really need to think about this and understand it. YouTube needs to fulfill you. Whatever your channel is, it needs to be your hobby, your escape, your getaway. It needs to be the thing that makes it to where when you come home from doing your YouTube, filming your content, whatever, that you can come home, you're satisfied, and it's family time. It's time to go play Legos, it's time to go burp a baby, change a butt, whatever it is. Because if you went out and you filmed all day and you come home and the one thing you wanna do is jump on Call of Duty and start playing because I worked all day and now I need to relax, well, your job, your YouTube, whatever you're making needs to be your relax. That being said, obviously relaxing is good, takes time to relax, but it's not like you were stocking the shelves at Target all day and then you come home and you're just exhausted, you're tired, you just wanna watch this movie real quick, and then that's why you can't give your family time and attention. For me, I absolutely love snowboarding. I go snowboarding every single day. It fulfills me, so then when I come home from snowboarding, it's family time. I don't have to think about the YouTube channel, anything like that. It's just like, I'm excited to be around my family because I got my personal time in, I got my play in. It all came together when I was filming my video. So work was play, and it fulfilled me. And that's the goal, that's the dream of YouTube. Figure that out. So if you're just making YouTube videos to hopefully quit your job and make a bunch of money, well, that will quickly turn into another job and you'll still have the same issues. But for me, I make YouTube videos because I love to snowboard. All I want to do is snowboard as much as possible. So by making videos, I get to snowboard more, and that's how my cycle works. So hopefully that you can find something like that. Now, this is a conversation. I don't know everything, and this is just what works for my family. So comment down below if you're a YouTuber or if you have ideas of how to get work-life balance, anything like that. Let's help some people out in the comments down below, and then make sure you smash the like button so more people can see this video. The more people that can hopefully find a work-life balance, the happier people will find on this planet, and you won't get yelled at in the line at Starbucks. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button to join the strongest snowboard and ski community on the internet. If you're into those sports, this is definitely a place for you to hang out. But I will also be making more of these YouTube type videos, so subscribe. And with all that being said, thank you so much for talking with us today. And as always, thanks for watching. Keep evolving, and we'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. I'm on top of the ocean, living like life ain't frozen, feeling my feet been chosen for something other than motion, yeah. Mama told me I'ma be somebody, I ain't never gonna need nobody, no, no. I ain't never gonna need nobody, no cliff hang.
When do you want food?